Hi there. You do know that when stressed, your nervous system comes under pressure. Racing heart, dry mouth, shakiness, upset stomach, and whatnot. But what you don't know is that the nervous system has not one but two branches so that the body can get you out of the stress as soon as possible. Which is why these two branches known as the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, the good cop and the bad cop, are opposite to each other in their function. One which gets you all nervy and tense, and the other which acts as a balancer and calms you down. The sympathetic nervous system, though makes you tensed, prepares your body to face a threat like a lion chasing you and is necessary for short term survival. It increases alertness, blood pressure, the heart rate, and the breath rate. However, if the situation is less demanding, like that you are late to work, such a response is not required because stress hormones are released when the sympathetic mode is active, and research proves that high levels of stress hormones, especially cortisol, for far too long and too frequently tend to damage the body in the long run and make it disease prone. The other branch of your nervous system, the good cop as I would call it, the parasympathetic, acts as a balancer. It calms the body down, reduces the blood pressure, the heart rate, the breath rate, aids in smooth digestion, and ensures good immunity. So, the trick is to keep the body in a parasympathetic mode, the calm mode, as much as possible, including when you are presenting in a board meeting at your workplace. Being able to turn on this mode is a skill set in its own right and is probably what differentiates between a good and a bad public speaker, and especially helps in situations of performance anxiety. The sympathetic mode, one which makes you alert, should be reserved only for emergencies like when running late to catch a flight, or when sprinting a 100-meter race, or when involved in a fist fight. Even for road rage, you need to be in a parasympathetic mode. So, how do you put your body in the parasympathetic mode? That is easy. And here comes the importance of the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve in your body that starts from the base of your brain, from the brain stem, and goes all the way down to the abdomen. And on its way down, it branches to touch different important organs of your body like the heart, lungs, spleen, pancreas, stomach, kidney, even the reproductive organs and the tongue. Not just that, it controls a lot of involuntary body processes like breath rate, circulation, digestion, and the heart rate. For all its complexity, the vagus nerve has a simple rule as well: to turn on the parasympathetic mode of the nervous system. All we got to do is to manipulate our breath. Slow and deep breathing with exhalations longer, preferably double than your inhalation, are found to stimulate the vagus nerve, as researchers from Netherlands found out in experiments done in 2018. So the hack is simple: longer and slower your exhalation, more active the vagus nerve gets, and then it begins sending a signal to the brain to activate the parasympathetic mode, whose job, as you know, is to calm the body down. When this happens, the sympathetic mode, the flight or fight mode system, also simultaneously tones down, bringing about a balance in the body. Do note that the breath technique involved here is not the standard pranayama breath exercises that you probably do. Here, while the inhalation is through the nose, which of course is a standard, The exhalation preferably should be through the mouth, keeping the lips pressed. Why? So that's because you can exhale far longer through the mouth than you can through the nose. Let me show you using both the techniques. In technique number 1, we will inhale as well as exhale through the nose, and in technique number 2, we'll inhale through the nose but exhale through the mouth. In both the cases, we will let go of the exhalation for as long as we can. Apart from calming down your body and activating the parasympathetic mode, these experiments have shown that there is another very important finding, one which can prevent a heart attack. A stimulated vagus nerve releases a chemical called acetylcholine that slows the heart rate and blood pressure, reducing your chances of a heart attack. This very important paper published in NCBI. NCBI is a US approved medical body. Says acetylcholine has been shown to play protective roles in heart diseases. The paper adds acetylcholine regulates minute to minute changes in heart rate and contractility required for proper cardiovascular function, opposing the activity of the sympathetic nervous system. Another health body, the Pittsburgh Integrative Mental Health, adds the vagus nerve can help regulate heart rate and blood pressure, and it may have an impact on a range of conditions including heart disease, diabetic neuropathy. Diabetic neuropathy is the damage done to your nerves due to diabetes, autoimmune disorders, cysts, multiple sclerosis, and headaches. Clearly, acetylcholine, which is released by a stimulated vagus nerve through natural means of slow and deep exhalation, would reduce your chances of a heart attack. The level of the activity of your vagus nerve is known as vagal tone. A healthy vagal tone is indicated by a slight increase of heart rate during inhalation and a slight decrease of heart rate when you exhale. A high vagal tone is linked to physical and psychological well-being. A low vagal tone is associated with inflammation, depression, negative moods, loneliness, heart attacks, and strokes, says Christopher Berglund, world-class endurance athlete, coach turned science writer, and Guinness World Record holder for treadmill running. To sum up, practice deep breathing in a 4:8 ratio for starters, which is count to 4 while inhaling through your nose and to 8 while exhaling through the pressed lips of your mouth. All of it in slow respiratory cycle. Gradually stop counting your exhalation and let your exhalation go for as long as possible until the whole exercise may start feeling meditative, which is the idea and which is the goal. On an average, a person breathes 10 to 14 times, but 6 breaths in a minute is what you are supposed to eventually target. This breathing technique is often underrated or overlooked by even veteran meditators and yoga practitioners, probably because it is so simple to do. Yet it is no less valuable. The long exhalations will keep you focused round after round until you feel so meditative. Unlike the popular breathing techniques like Alom Vilom, where you tend to tire your right hand, which is busy clasping your nostrils, or the belly breathing where you are involving the abdominal muscles and your diaphragm and busy doing deep breaths, can lose you after a few minutes, like can the breath awareness, where you're simply supposed to be aware of your inhale and exhales. So unlike all of these, which are of course no less valuable, but this exercise is far simpler to do, and that is why I have created a whole video on this specific breathing technique. One thing is for sure, breathing works, and controlled breathing works even better. Our Indian yogis have known this forever, and scientists are now catching up. You too have known this for a while and probably indulge in some breathing technique or the other, but this is the one you need to give a try at, because this is the easiest hack to stimulating your vagus nerve, to activate your parasympathetic, the calming part of your nervous system, and finally to prevent a future heart attack. So the hack is in long exhalations through pressed mouths. So that's all you need to do. Bye. Thank you.